I love it. First of all, thank you very much. Thank you for being here and taking some time with us, both Mayor England and I, to be able so that we can let you know a little bit about the state of the city. Unfortunately, we can't tell you everything about the city because there's so many things. I was talking to somebody out here this morning, and I've got 35 pages. I lied to you. I thought there was 33. There's 35 pages of stuff for me to try to go through. And so there's just not time. There's a million things you would rather be doing than listening to me anyway. And so I recognize that, but I'll try to go through a lot of these things as fast as I possibly can. But thank you very much for being here and for everything that you do for our community. And that community is extremely important to me and my family, to everybody in this room and your families. Thank you for taking the time and spending the time and effort and everything that you do for our community. Before I go very far, I do want to recognize our city council members. Council president, which I almost messed up last night because we just switched. I went Council Lurick, Council President Lurick. That's right. Here I've got Council Member Mangum, and I've got our very new, he's been on the job, I don't know, 12 hours-ish. Council Member Polson. So you guys actually could stand up. You raise your hand like this. How about Linda? Linda's having a hard time standing up. But anyway, let's give her a round of applause. And then I get to stand up here because of the hard work of the city employees and the hard work that they do. And there are a number of employees, city employees in the stands right now, or in the audience right now. Would you please stand up, all of the city employees that are here? The only reason I'm able to do what I do is because they do what they do, and I appreciate them. I can't imagine working with a better bunch of people than the employees that I get to work with every day. And so thank you for being here, and thank you for what you do for the city. And genuinely, they love the community that they work for. So thank you very much. I have to tell you, 2023 was a great year for Pocatello. If you remember back a few years ago, we had a flag, and there was a flag incident. That flag incident, we found out that we were the worst flag in North America. I remember that. It was a horrible experience to go through. But we changed it. We changed our flag. We had a big contest. We changed that flag. I'm going to try to get it right. I'll probably screw it up, but if I do, then I'll fix it somehow. There was a new survey put out by the North American Vexillological Association, and that means flag, people that like flags. They put a new survey out. The city of Pocatello flag went from the very worst in North America to number 11. Pretty good, yes. Pretty good. I cannot wait to see Chubbuck's flag when it comes out. It's going to be a good one. He says, don't stand on one foot. Okay, I won't do that then. Anyway, what a great accomplishment that was. Our community got together, rallied behind, and we changed something, a negative, and made it a positive. The Mayor's Youth Advisory Council, what a great group of people. Mayor England mentioned the youth. He's absolutely right. We talk to the youth. We get to visit with them on a regular basis. I have the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council in Pocatello, and these guys are high school students. These kids, these young adults are high school students that really care about what's going on, and they realized and recognized there was an issue with fentanyl last year. So high school students put together a program and a presentation on fentanyl use and abuse and what it does and all of that stuff, because they're worried about their high school. I just messed something up. Fixed it. They're worried about their high school, their fellow high school students, and they're worried about the public in general. We had too many overdoses happening. We had too many things happening that were negatively impacting the youth of Pocatello. And so they put this presentation together. They ran this presentation. We gave it to the Pocatello Police Chief, Chief Shy. he ran with that. The Association of Idaho Cities shared it, and they recognized them as with an award for doing that. They shared it with the Governor Little's Operation Esto Perpetua, tackling fentanyl and methamphetamines, and he is now included their presentation in a statewide campaign to fight against the fentanyl uses and abuses we have there. Chief Shy was so impressed with it, he decided to give them an award as well from the Pocatello Police Department. It was just neat to see them really expand and see what could happen there with that, and they did an incredible job. This year, the mayoral scholarship, thanks to all the many donors that we have. I won't mention them all because there's a lot, and if I do, I might forget one, but you're in this room. Thank you very much for what you do, how you've done it, and the things that you have done for us. We were able to give 3 scholarships this last year for students that would not and otherwise would not have gone to school. And I have to the university. And I have to tell you, when you give those scholarships out, when you talk to those students, it's changing lives. I had a parent last year tell me, I didn't think there was any way in the world my daughter would ever be able to go to school and would ever be able to get a scholarship for school. It's amazing what happens when we put some trust in these students. 2023, we elected 3 new council members, 2 incumbents, Corey Mangum, who is here, Brent Nichols, I'll talk about him in a minute, and then Hayden Polson. We elected them, we just swore them in. As I said, Hayden is literally within 12, 13 hours of being on the job, and so he did a great job last night, and so it's going to be fun working with him. The rebranding effort of Pocatello, we're going to rebrand our city, and we're starting that rebranding effort. I would encourage you to please, please, please pay attention to when you can be involved, and please get involved, because the company that we are using to rebrand will be doing a lot of community outreach. And we want your input. They want your input so that we can rebrand our community. And that should be happening very soon in the spring, I believe. So please pay attention to that as much as we can. Pocatello Police Department, we had 4 police officers that received the Governor's Medal of Honor Award. That was the first time we've had any police officers recognized with that award in our history that we know of anyway. And the governor didn't know of any others either. And so we had 4 police officers that received that award. 2 of those police officers received a national award from the National Attorney General, who went back to Washington, D.C., and they received an award from him for the great work that they did here in Pocatello, helping protect and save our community. Absolutely amazing. What was even more amazing is when we were there, we went to a museum and we left and we split up. There was like 6 of us and we split up, and we were supposed to meet. We started wondering where in the world are the other 2 that we were supposed to meet with. And we were standing there wondering where they were, and an ambulance came by. And then we ran into them, I don't know, an hour later. We said, what happened to you guys? They said, well, we ran in as we were going up down the sidewalk in Washington, D.C. There was a kid choking on something, and they saved the child's life in Washington, D.C. after getting this award from the Attorney General. Just amazing what our police officers do here. The Idaho Crime Report came out and was released. It came out, the city of Pocatello crime was reduced by 14.42%. That's a big number to be able to reduce crime that much. Our water department produced and treated over 4.4 billion gallons of water for us to use last year. 4.4 billion gallons of water. We replaced 1.3 miles of water mains throughout the city neighborhoods. Here, if you live in those neighborhoods, you know where they are because it was a pain. Thank you for your patience. Some of you ran out of patience at the end. I would have too, quite frankly. Those areas were North Hay Street, North Buchanan Avenue, and East Chapel Street. And we had to replace those lines. We appreciate the patience that you had. If you drove down Cedar Street, you saw a big mess. It was a well being drilled. We have two new wells that we're replacing. And one of those wells was on Cedar Street. That's one that it pops into my mind because I drove past it all the time. And I was thinking, man alive, that's such a mess, but I can't wait till it's done. And so they were working on that and drilling the two wells. We also are replacing a 5 million gallon uh, 5 million gallon water tank, the transmission line to it. The construction up Pocatello Creek. I know that everybody's had their experience driving around that construction in 2023. Pocatello Creek main line, that line, the booster station and transmission line goes up. So now we have redundancy water up in the Highland area, something that we didn't have before, which was scary to me because if it went out, we had 20% of our community that would not have water. And so we've got redundancy up there now. And it is, there's still a few things to finish up on that, but we're getting that taken care of. The IT, our information technology department, we started migrating the city's planning and development and building departments into a new community development software. This software is supposed to and should help developers, citizens, everybody when you start looking to get permits, when you want to build, anything that you need, you should be able to go onto that system and do it right from home and not have to come into the city hall, which will be very nice to have done. They've also started migrating the city's enterprise resources and planning financial system into a more advanced central square solution so that it should provide more transparency on the financials of the city of Pocatello. I believe they're pretty transparent. If you go to the website, you can pull it up and you can see everything that we're doing. This should just help even more so. And so we're always trying to do things like that. Pocatello Regional Transit. Pocatello Regional Transit increased their ridership from 2022. We had nearly 190,000 passenger trips on Pocatello Regional Transit. That's a pretty big number for the city our size. In June, the department received 4 brand new ADA accessible cutaway buses. These buses will now accommodate anybody with any mobility issues or anything that they may have, that they can be transported now, and we can actually help them navigate throughout the city of Pocatello. Pocatello Animal Services. We had a maintenance year this year with our Pocatello Animal Services. We had a lot of housekeeping we had to keep up. The shelter needed to be, some things needed to be tidied up on. The privacy fences needed to be taken care of. The shelter capacity, we ran out. So 2020 was a great year. Everybody thought, well, I need an animal. I can't go anywhere. I need an animal. And so we went and got a dog or a cat or something like that. In 2023, 2022, 2023, everybody said, I don't need that animal anymore because I can go out. And so our animal shelter filled up very, very, very quickly. We literally built that animal shelter. It wasn't long ago. Within the last 10 years, we built this. We built that knowing that we would not fill that up for 25 or 30 years. And 2020 happened, and then we had everybody bring all the animals back in 2022, 2021, 2022, 2023. And so we had to expand the capacity. And so then that created another problem because we have to adopt out all these animals and people are bringing back. But we were able to do that, and we were able to maintain the no-kill status for our animal shelter, which is a big deal to us. We think that's extremely important. In 2020, we had 1,436 animals that were adopted or were returned to owners, or we were able to transfer to another shelter. In 2022, adoptions, return to owner, and transfers, we had 1,633 And so we've been able to do a really good job increasing those numbers when we've needed to do that. Our public library, we received a large donation from the Yost and Ashcross family. And I have to tell you, one thing, we cannot do most of the things that we do without community support and without the donations of very generous people. And these families got together and said, we want to create something at the library. And so what we did was, with a large donation, we created a new STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math exploration center at the library. It will be there to help young people, the youth of Pocatello, go over and be able to experience those different programs in the library there. Something that we didn't have the ability to do without a very large donation. And so to those two families, just amazing to have that. A couple new programs we started. We started two new programs. The first program was multicultural story time. This every month we have a different culture that we invite kids in so that they can hear, read about, and learn about different cultures throughout the world. And then the other one is the STEAM night. There's a different theme and a different activity every month for the youth to come in and experience that and have a good time. We had some issues with the library. We had some concerns in the community and throughout the state. And so what we did was we did a collection shift. We took a complete and very large shift of our nonfiction collection. This allowed us to create a more welcoming standalone section for our children's nonfiction. Those nonfiction books, there were some people that were afraid they were getting into some books that the youth shouldn't, and so we separated them. That took 3 days, long, hard days of our library being closed, and every one of our library staff members working as hard as they can to make that move. For the first time this last year, we had we hosted a seed giveaway. So we were able to give packets of seeds to 200 packets of seeds to local gardeners around the community for them to be able to plant a garden and stuff. And we're hoping to be able to do that next year and into the future. We'll just have to see what happens with that. Our airport, wow, I've got to talk about the airport. And I can't spend too much time because I'm only on page 4. But Pocatello Regional Airport, we were able to get an extra flight into the airport. But what's even more substantial in my mind is we were able to have Delta Airlines start flying into Pocatello instead of having SkyWest fly into Pocatello at risk. Now Delta Airlines is flying into Pocatello. SkyWest still operates it, but they do it under a contract with Delta. And there's a larger plane. It's a great plane. If you haven't flown in and out of Pocatello, shame on you. You should try it because it's amazing to be able to fly right into Pocatello and be 10 minutes from home. And it's incredible. And if you think it's too expensive, do the math. Please do the math. I was going with a friend, our neighbors, to Tennessee. We were going to watch a football game, Tennessee-Georgia football game this year. And they called me up and said, we're getting our tickets and we're flying out and this is it. And we're going out of Salt Lake. And I said, okay, it sounds great. We're not going to fly out of Salt Lake. We'll fly out of Pocatello. And they said, oh, what do you know? And I said, well, this is what I know. And we looked. And it did cost a little bit more out of Pocatello. And then I said, let's do the math on the gas and the time and the meals and the wear and tear. And we did all of that stuff. And they were like, flying out of Pocatello just saved us $1,100. So please look at Pocatello when you're traveling somewhere. We have 2 flights, one in the morning, one in the mid-afternoon. They're incredible to have. We have a number of upgrades that we're going to be doing at the airport, but I want to just mention a few things. We have several hangars. Apparently, there's a lot of people that have private jets that don't have a place to park those jets. And so we are now, or airplanes, maybe not jets, airplanes. I saw my airport manager over there going, hey, wait a minute, they're not all jets, but airplanes. And so we are, with the airport master plan, we're looking to build more. We've run out of space for airplane hangars. And so we're looking to where we can expand, and throughout this year, we'll have the ability to expand to a lot more airport hangars than what we already have right now. Our fire department, October was our fire prevention month. We went into the fire department employees went into all the third grade classes in the city of Pocatello, talked about safety and fire safety and things. We did something that I think is cool. The fire department is able to do this. It's called Cool Rain. And if you're really hot in the summertime, go over to Caldwell Park, Alameda Park, or Raymond Park, and you can stand under the fire truck that's got the hose up there and spraying water down on it, and the kids love it. They think it's a lot of fun, and I'd like to see a couple of you out there, but be careful, please. Be careful if you do that. They also joined with Idaho State University to do a junior firefighting camp for youth interested in knowing what it's like to have a career in firefighting, which is a great idea because we're always trying to find new people to do different things. The fire department participated in the environmental fair, Easter Bash, Kind Community Day event, Break for Breakfast, Lowe's Fire Safety Day. That's just to name a few things. The fire department received a $240,000 grant from the Idaho Department of Lands to do a fuel reductions in the Johnny Creek area. And I will tell you, if you have the opportunity to remove some of the junipers around your houses in the Johnny Creek area, please do, because it would be scary if you knew how fast that place will go up in flames if it catches on fire, and there would be nothing we can do about it. So please, that is such an important program that we have. We did it on the east side of the city too. We got in a lot of trouble and got yelled at on the east side for that too, but since then it looks great. There's still junipers there, and it's a lot safer. Those junipers burn fast. One thing that the fire department, Pocatello Fire Department, we operate the Bannock County Ambulance District. It's a great relationship we have with Bannock County, and it's good to have Bannock County support on this. Calls were up by 1% this last year. We set a new record, and it's a record I don't like to set. I don't think it's a great record. We had 1,985 calls. It was the busiest year on record. That's scary to me. We've got too many people doing too many things that are going to get hurt. And so please help people not get hurt, because our firefighters, it's tough. 9,000, do the math, somebody, because I won't, but 9,185 calls in the year are a lot of calls. And those calls aren't just, hey, how are you? Goodbye. Those calls are, hey, thank you. And we leave and we go and do something, and somebody's hurt because of those when that happens. So please be careful there. The fire department also sent people out on a couple different fires, the Hayden fire, the Payette fire in Idaho. We had firefighters go and work those fires. The Susanville fire in California as well. Those are great opportunities for our fire department and our firefighters to go in and get training and get recognized or do all kinds of stuff, and it actually makes them money, and it helps the city make the city money, and it's just great to be able to do that. Our Parks and Recreation Department, we have a great partner in Portneuf Health Trust, and they came to us and said, look, your rec center is in shambles and it doesn't look very good. And they're right. It didn't look great, but it was not in shambles. They were a little bit wrong there. But it definitely needed an uplift, a facelift, and everything like that. So they came in and said, we want to help make some changes here. They're going to remodel the rec center, do a lot of the remodeling and updating and things. We're going to add approximately 3,200 square feet into the indoor facility for the new fitness center. They're going to, a part of all of this stuff, they're going to do it includes a redesign of the front entrance, new flooring, new ceiling tiles, lots of new paint, and lots of new paint. Some exterior facade, lighting, landscaping enhancements. When we're done, all said and done, it's a big check for the Portneuf Health Trust. So Portneuf Health Trust, thank you for your support and your help with the city of Pocatello and doing some things that we need there. Also in the Parks Department, the skate park, we had a refresh of the skate park. Could not happen without donations. This skate park over at the Lower Ross Park it's a great asset to our community. Everybody said it can't be fixed. It's no good. We got to do something. We've got to change it. Well, we can't afford to do that. And so we got together with Southeast Idaho Skate Park Association. Gilligan's Asphalt, a local asphalt company, came in and said, "We'll redo the asphalt for you." And they did that as a donated. They donated time and materials. Absolutely amazing. Lookout Credit Union said, "Hey, we want to help with that. We think this is a great project." And so they came in and they did a bunch of help. And then I honestly worked my tail off walking as much as I could to get a $1,000 donation from the Blue Cross Foundation. And we gave that $1,000 to them as well. Now, I told you I was going to talk about Councilmember Nichols. Councilmember Nichols, if you ever get him on a skateboard, he is incredible. He's absolutely awesome. And so just if you ever see him and you say, "Hey, teach me how to ride a skateboard," maybe have him teach you on the low end things, not the high end, because he's an awesome at that. Zoo, Idaho, we had 3 new coyote pups, 5 trumpeter swans. Leadership Pocatello, thank you, leadership. I know you're in here because they came in and did an amazing job with landscaping and a bunch of stuff around the zoo grounds. Farm Bureau came in and painted the barn that was much needed, and there's no way we would have been able to do all of that without that help and the support of the community there. Little Paving came in and they repaved and paved the walkways and stuff around the zoo there. And so if you have an opportunity, if you haven't gone there, it's closed now, but when you have an opportunity, go and experience the zoo. They're doing an incredible job there. In 2024, I do want to tell you a few things Parks and Recreation is doing. We hired a new Parks and Recreation director, and I don't think I can keep up with her because she is moving quick. But we are building in the process right now because of the support of the City Council, Parks and Rec, and then a number of people in our community. We're building 7 new pickleball courts in the Lower Ross Park area. We're adding a slide at the Ross Park Aquatic Complex. Idaho Central Credit Union splash pad at OK Ward Park is finally going to get built. We are resurfacing Brooklyn's playground at OK Ward Park. The cemetery roads, as you pull into the cemetery, those roads are not doing very good this spring. We're going to repave all of the roads in the cemetery. Hallowell Park, if you've been at a ball game there, great. If you haven't, you should go. It's a lot of fun to watch baseball there, we're doing some improvements on that in that facility with the School District 25, Grays Baseball, Pocatello American Legion. We are looking at doing a number of improvements. Some of those improvements, the dugouts, apparently our dugout ceilings was falling in. We're fixing all of that. We're widening the stairs going up into the stands. We are adding handrails going down the stairs. Let's see, we're improving the score booth, and there will be a new set of bleachers on the left field side. If you've walked there, you'll appreciate those bleachers being new. School District 25 is doing a number of projects there with us as well, and that's part of that very thing. And so it's great to have those relationships. Our street operations, let's see, I'm almost out of time. Street operations, 41 miles of road in our pavement this last year. We've got some cool things, man alive. I wish I could talk about this more. Cool stuff happened with utilizing some new AI technology and being able to tell us what our streets, the conditions our roads are in both the summertime and also in the wintertime with the traction. I was going over this with our public works or our deputy public works director the other day. Absolutely amazing things that you can see. We can see how slick the roads are out there in real time, and so we can do a better job on taking care of those. Our sanitation department saw a 7% increase, 2,900 tons of recycled material we took out. That's 15% away from the landfill that we would have taken up there. It's about 6 million pounds that we've taken out. let's see. I'm sorry. I'm going through this fast now. Fleet department's just done great stuff. I talked about our fuel reduction project and the East Bench. We have a bunch of fuel, a bunch of piles that in the next couple of weeks you're going to see smoke coming up there. We're burning those piles. We need to get rid of those piles. And so when you see that smoke, just double check before you call the fire department, because the fire department's probably already there, putting that fire, burning that, so we can do that. We had a Portneuf River cleanup. We had a number of citizens that came out to clean the river for us. The thousands of residents came to the Portneuf Valley Environmental Fair. I wanted to talk about the Carson Street Bridge, some of the infrastructure that we're doing. Our public works director, our public works department's doing right now. We've replaced the Carson Street Bridge, $1.4 million bridge. We did that through a grant. Cost the city of Pocatello $140,000. South 5th and Jason Street Safety Project. We've got a $205,000 grant there. It cost the city of Pocatello $15,000. You're seeing some stuff. Hawthorne Road and Quinn Road intersections. I know y'all have probably complained about that. That was a $4.1 million. I heard some laughs over there because y'all know it's true. But it's a $4.1 million project. The city of Pocatello paid 7.34% of that. And then we worked with the city of Chubbuck, who's paying 25% of the 7.34% of that project. That project, you think just go ahead and widen it out, put some new pavement down. But some of the things that we've added there, new turn lanes, biking lanes, pedestrian crossing, traffic signals, I know are not in yet. They will be in 2024. I hope. But we also had, gas lines we had to work with. We had irrigation lines we had to work with. We had power lines. There's fiber lines. There's stormwater facilities. There's retaining walls. And so when you say, let's just fix this intersection, typically it means a lot more than just fixing an intersection. But we do anticipate lights being put up in the spring of 2024. And luckily, everything's done on it. It's not going to take too many road closures. Our wastewater control system cleaned over 1.2 billion gallons of water above to exceed regulatory standards, removing over 99.5% of all contaminants. They also cleaned over 250 miles of line there. Our finance department has got our audit and investment committee put together and up and running. We've got 2 city council members on it. We've got a professional money manager on that, and we've got 2 city staff members on that. It's just there's so many things that they're doing right now. Our planning department has been busy as can be. Well, I'm just going to hit a couple highlights real quick because then I apologize. I'm out of time. 8 grants. Those grants are equal out to be $37.5 million. If we receive all of those grants, a couple grants we've already received: Safe Streets and Roads for All, $225,900. North Portneuf Crossing, $7.75 million to fix the Craft Road North Portneuf intersection right there. We received a USDA Urban Community Forestry grant for $1 million, where we're able to go in and do some work on some trees and stuff throughout the city that we need to do. The CDBG were a community development block grant community. They were able to do a number of things for the Boys and Girls Clubs, New Day products, Pocatello Free Clinic, Senior Activity Center, St. Vincent, St. Paul things. Our building department was just as busy as can be, 4,839 different inspections this last year. And so, I mean, I can go on and on and on, and I apologize because I'm 1 minute over. But thank you again, once again, for everything that you do. Thank you for being here today. And it's going to be a great year. The city of Pocatello is in the best shape it's ever been, and we're just going to continue to grow. So thank you very much.